quiet design. Okay kan ni? Annoying gila lah. Awak dengar suara saya? Suara saya lagi kuat ke belakang tu lagi kuat?
So rasa lagi kuat.
Suara saya kuat Okay. So the third one, measure, determine and analyze data. And the fourth one is the apply common standards in designing the structure of energy system. Ini saya nak tunjuk jugalah kan. Okay. So kita ada course outcome, and for engineering, EAC, Engineering Accreditation Council, which is accredited by the Board of Engineer Malaysia, dia dah gariskan 12 PO ni. Saya rasa tahu ni banyak ada budak final year kan. Kita tak apalah, kita try kokot lah, nanti ada orang interview awak kan. So program learning outcomes ataupun program outcomes, PO ni ada 12. Okay, dia ada 12. Tidak semestinya kena hafal, tak perlu hafal pun. So dah ada PO 1 sampai PO 12. So PO 1 tu basically knowledge. Okay, knowledge. PO 4, PO 4 is tagging with the CO2 and CO3, which is ni investigation. Okay, investigation. So yang CO3 tu sebenarnya sebab dia tulis measured kan, ini sebenarnya kita tagging pada lab lah. Lab session dia. Okay. So measure, determine, analyze data from various system based on the correct design. So ini adalah element of investigation lah. PO4 is investigation. The PO6 is the engineer society. So engineer society ni in this course outcomes, it applies common standards in designing structure of renewable energy system. So dia ada standards yang dipakai. Contoh guna kat sini MS 1837 2015 if I'm not mistaken. Itu adalah standard yang kita pakai. Okay. Macam subjek engineering and society kan, dia biasa tagi pada PO6 ni lah. Sebab dia ada main dengan standard IEC, board engineer standard satu dah ada lah. Okay. Cuma kita punya ni, kita ada main dengan yang tadi mention standard saya sebut tadi. Ini akan terlibat dalam pengiraan voltage drop, pengiraan cable size. Okay. Itu awal lagi. Just nak tunjuk, itulah dia program outcome kita. So while the assessment method tu macam yang hari tu lah. Okay. Ini ada syllabus. Tak apalah, syllabus ni saya go through je. Okay. Itu je yang penting yang dekat sini. Sebelum kita mulakan kita punya chapter 1 saja. So I promise today only chapter 1. Since the background music also quite annoying. So saya akan habiskan chapter 1 saja hari ni. Simple sangat. Ya Okay, please ignore the MOOC, everything written there, just ignore it. Okay. I just using the old stuff. Okay. Okay, introduction to alternative energy. Okay. Jap. So we are going through the definition of alternative, blah blah blah, benefits, types and the concept. So ni aja ni tak apalah, kita pass je. Okay. What is alternative energy? I think it's all about the definition lah. Quite subjective actually. So alternative energy is an energy source that is an alternative to fossil fuel. Means that anything that are alternative to the fossil fuel like the oil, coal and gas is an alternative energy. Okay. We are not coming yet to the renewable energy and non-renewable energy. But we are talking about the alternative energy, which is the alternative solution for the fossil fuel. Okay. So the subject majorly intend to address concerns about such fossil fuel. So fossil fuel, all I think all of you know that crude oil, natural gas, coal, the petroleum, the Petronas is the person working in the fossil fuel industry. Okay. Korang perasan kot sekarang minyak naik kan? Minyak naik diam-diam kan? Macam duri dalam daging lah. Dulu murah je, sekarang naik RM2 lebih. Macam itulah. So ni semua fossil fuel lah ni. Fossil fuelnya game. Okay. So 10 things about fossil fuel. Dengar saya ke? Can you hear me?
Dengar sir.
Boleh kan?
Dengar.
So what about what is all about fossil fuel? So 3 main types: oil, coal and natural gas. So basically take millions of years to form. I'm not sure if we have another reserve. Tak tahulah, kita ada petroleum, dengan macam kita ada petroleum tersembunyi kan, tapi tak tahu. Okay, it really takes millions of years to form lah. Okay, for the case of Malaysia, we don't have the onshore, we are offshore type kan, kita dekat offshore kan. Cannot be replaced once used, is totally non-renewable. Once you use, it's just produce smoke, CO2 and finish like that. And then basically found under the ground. Can be difficult to get because nak gali minyak tu bukan boleh pakai drill biasa kan, yang dia orang tengah buat ni kan, pecah dinding kan, boleh kan. Dia kena pakai the mega drill. So burn to give off heat, burn in power station to generate electricity like in the Kerte, in Pasir Gudang maybe. Okay, give off carbon dioxide when burn, and popularly they are the main cause of the air pollution. So one day we believe, one day it will run out lah. Okay, one day we will run out. So type of aftertake energy is a lot actually. Several examples is solar. Solar the most popular one. Yeah, the most conventional and popular one. Now become like the nasi lah sekarang ni. Solar ni sekarang dah macam nasi lah kan. Semua orang patut tahu lah. Budak-budak pun tahu pasal solar kan. Maksudnya dia jadi macam lah. Benda yang wajib orang tahu kan solar ni. So hydrogen, biomass ni popular di kalangan plantation studies. I think the chemical side, the chemical department persons or engineer, they are playing with the biomass most. Okay, compared to our electrical lah. Kita electrical ni banyak main solar kan. So biasanya biomass ni terkait rapat lah dengan department of electrical chemical engineering. Chemical engineering lebih terdedah lah. Okay. Then geothermal, I'm not sure in Malaysia case, if in the Turkey or in the country there are 4 seasons, usually they are playing with they need the water heater, even though we also use here water heater, but for our case it's not that extreme. For the Russia, for example, they're minus 20 degrees, minus 30 degrees kan. In Japan maybe maximum -5 in Hokkaido. So a solution of the one of the solution for the water heater, the natural water heater, they're using the geothermal. So the geothermal is coming from the ground. I'm not sure the magma ke mana place, saya tak tahu, daripada dalam lah. So that natural thermal tu to the circulate naik atas untuk boil the steam, and the steam come out and then produce the energy that used for the mainly for the case of water heater lah. Specific for the 4 seasons country lah. Kita kurang sikit benda ni. Dan saya tak applicable sangat kot. Okay. Then next thing then is the wind. Wind popular kan. Even dekat depan, if you know the Pekan main gate kan ada wind turbine kan depan kan. Tapi satu pusing dan satu tak pusing. Jangan tanya saya kenapa saya pun tak tahu. Tapi wind also in our place also we also use, but majorly in Malaysia solar lah kan, mana you nampak kan. Okay, next is the wave. So wave ni antara wave dan tidal tu almost the same. So dia pakai ombak tu. So dia ada turbine dia. So dia pasang surut air tu sebenarnya dia memberikan movement to the turbine. Okay, dia pasang surut air tu. Okay. Then the hydro is popular in Malaysia, is Tasik Kenyir, and many places also. Even in Kuala Pahang also we have the small hydro. maybe mini hydro level or micro hydro. Kan kalau kat Kuala Pahang tu dia ada sebenarnya kan, itu tujuannya sebab banjir. Jadi nak pump out all the water kan to the what we call masuk ke sungai kan. So dia adalah sebenarnya hydro sikit-sikit tu, which is adalah hydro ni machine ni popular jugalah, kita tahu juga. So the most controversial and is the nuclear. So nuclear, itulah nuclear ni kan macam-macam lah kan. Even quite challenging and very risky due to the safety measures, because they produce once the fusion, I think the fusion or diffusion, I forgot the name of that term, happens. So dia tembak kan, macam mana tembak uranium, tembak plutonium to the another atoms and the plutonium, so dia tembak aja that fusion process something like that, so it will produce megatons of the watts, plus there's the radiation. Okay, dan radiation tu lah gamma, alpha, beta tu lah yang problemnya. We want the power only, the megawatts, sometimes ton of watt. Dia macam ni lah, macam apa nama tu, if there's no issues with the nuclear, if there's no issue with the nuclear of the radiation, gamma, beta, everything kan, kalau dia totally clean kan, saya rasa lepas ni dekat Aeon ke dekat Giant kan, dia ada jual lah macam jual gula tu kan, jual gula tepung kan, 1 kilo kan. Ibarat kata kalau dapat 1 kilo of plutonium, maybe kan it can generate megawatts of power. Tu dah perumpamaan nuklear kalau awak nak tahu. Sebenarnya dia kecil, sekilo je kan, kalau kita buat balik sekilo je kan, sekali boleh produce untuk maybe several months of our electricity kan. Sebab tu ada nuklear ni, walaupun controversial, but still there's country who still proceed with that because of this. Okay, because of this, they quite generate lots, megatons of the megawatts of the power kan. Sebab itulah. Okay. Hello, dengar ke?
Dengar sir.
Okay, takut cakap seorang.
Ada sir.
Okay. Alright. So then we go to the renewable energy. Okay, renewable energy is generally defined as energy that comes from resources which are naturally replenished. Words. The words of replenish ni very very common and very popular in describing and explaining the term of renewable energy. Usually they say natural replenish. So on human time scale, such as sunlight, wind, rain, tides, wave, and geothermal heat. Okay, so sunlight is not like the fossil fuel. The sunlight will keep shining the earth, but I believe one day sunlight also will die. Masa tu hari kiamat lah kan. Hari kiamat tu sunlight dah tak ada. Itu je lah. Kita tunggu waktu tu kan. Kita tunggu Dajjal keluar je kan. Okay. And then the wind also will stop when that day comes kan. Tapi most of the cases basically, maksudnya this wind, rain, tides, wave, laut still mengeluarkan ombak, angin still meniupkan ombak. So sebab tu dia masih lagi relevant at the end of the world lah. Sebab tu dia replenish lah. They're describing the replenish terms. Okay, that's why they call that renewable energy lah. So geothermal heat also is coming from the ground, deep ground of the earth. Maybe from the magma. So still kan, benda tu memang flowing kan, sehinggalah bumi tu pecah kan. So selagi itu, dia masih relevant lah, renewable energy. Okay, so renewable energy replaces conventional fuels in 4 distinct areas: electricity generation, hot water, blah blah, and rural energy service, blah blah blah. Okay, sebenarnya dia patut ada clue ni, tapi dia tak keluar lah animation, dia dah keluar ada jawapan. Okay, all are alternative energies except the nuclear. Nuclear also is defined as the alternative energy, but it is not renewable because they're using the ground apa tu? The ground natural resources lah, sumber daripada ground juga sebenarnya, which is basically one day it will finish. But for me, there's still a lot of plutonium and uranium. I'm afraid if you try to dig in your house, under your house, kat tanah belakang rumah awak tu kan. Takut you gali kat belakang rumah awak tu ada plutonium kan, mana tahu kan. So maksudnya it's still early. I think it's still newborn nuclear ni saya rasa. Dia boleh pergi jauh tapi because of the safety measure, the safety issue, controversy of that. That's why in certain countries they already shut down. For example in Japan they shut down already. After the case of 2011 the mega quake in the Sendai. So in the Hokuriku during 2011 I was there at the time. I'm still pursuing my master. So at the time it's quite very controversy sangat kontroversi dan very frightening Okay. So that's why it's called the non-renewable because they're using the ground naturally resources from the ground dig it from the ground. So annoying okay ke? Boleh teruskan lagi ke? Dengan bunyi-bunyian di belakang tu?
Boleh ke? Boleh.
Boleh. Bagus lah korang ni. Committed sungguh. Stress kat aku. Okay. Okay, soalan energy. Ini nota ni pun tak berapa lah kemas sangat tapi tak apalah. Kita go through lah. I think you know already. Direct conversion of sunlight into electricity and confirm lah solar energy is DC current lah. Don't ask me why. Even though we use inverter and then the inverter produce us the AC signal, the AC voltage. But that is the inverter. Okay, inverter is invert the DC signal to the AC signal. That's why the output, the load that you can use is the AC Okay. So simple in design and require very little maintenance. To be honest, it's very simple. We are going to learn it deeply in the chapter of the grid connected and standalone even after from my experience from last several semesters before we went to the solar farm tahu kan, korang tahu kan subjek ni lah antara subjek yang suka berjalan suka berjalan hampir setiap semester kita orang berjalan, but due to the COVID so last two semesters so there will be no more visit okay, there will be no more industrial visit. Kalau tidak memang kita berjalan berjalan ke solar farm. Okay, it's not about leisure. We are going there for study not for leisure Itulah okay. But unfortunately due to the COVID pandemic now even we are now waiting for the vaccine tapi still lagi tak boleh lah untuk proceed for the any industrial visit. I'm not sure next semester please don't repeat this subject okay. If the COVID is recovered so maybe I will, if I'm still teaching this subject, so I'm going to ada solar farm lah. Macam tu lah. Memang macam tu. Nak bagi the direct exposure to the real situation of the solar farm. Okay. So can be considered an standalone system to give output from microwatt to grid connected system on megawatt scale. And then application popularly off grid. Gila ni belakang Oh tak boleh lah. Okay. Bertahan lah. I promise only 1 hour we finish. Okay, application of grid, then grid attached residential, blah blah blah, central power plant, blah blah. Okay, blah blah. Okay, wind energy. So wind energy, conversion of wind energy into electricity using wind turbines. Okay, power is directed by allowing it to blow past moving blades. So for those who doing the wind, sorry guys. Okay. So the power is directed by allowing the other blades. We have the blades, we have the wind turbine. So amount of power is dependent on rotor size and wind speed. That's why for those who are doing FYP, for example, for the wind energy study, to be honest, you still cannot fabricate or structure the real one because by doing the study of wind energy, I'm not condemning, nak cerita the situation dia, sebab wind energy dia play with the construction, civil, tiang dia tu kan, dia mechanical part, it's quite interesting but dia ada risiko lain lah, okay. contohnya wind turbine tu dia akan membunuh burung-burung kan. Contohlah. Bukanlah membunuh, kalau burung yang terbang melaluinya mungkin terpotong dua kan. Sebabkan ketajaman dia punya bilah kan. Macam itulah. Okay. So tapi the range for underwater, that one also very subjective lah. Yep. Okay, tidal energy. So tidal is the wave lah. Okay. Produced by the surge of ocean waters during the rise and fall of tides. Dan tadi saya sebut kan, dia ada naik turun, surut dan juga apa, air pasang dan air surut tu. That pasang surut, that rise and fall of the tides tu, it will move the turbine and then the electricity will be generated. Okay. Very limited places because only for the place in the seashore, dekat-dekat dengan kawasan perairan tepi pantai dia sesuai lah. Okay. But this one also play with the another issues because the sea water kan dia boleh mempercepatkan the rusting of the materials of the ions. So dia mempercepatkan pengaratan itu adalah satu isu yang menarik lah kalau siapa yang study pasal tide lah. So they play with the material kan, pencil coating tu bukan macam mana nak pastikan dia immune terhadap the sea water tadi kan. Okay. So hydro water that converts the energy obtained from tides. Okay. High cost and limited availability of sites lah. Ni logik lah tadi kan. But they mind a lot of things. Oh yo. Seronok. Okay, next is the geothermal energy. So thermal energy generated and stored in the earth. So the source is sustainable and reliable. Heat energy is derived from the earth from the magma, conduits, hot springs or hydrothermal circulation. So hot spring ni kita ada je kolam air panas tu, tapi taklah se-ekstrim, taklah semeriah yang dekat-dekat negara-negara luar kan yang ada hot spring. Okay. Lepas tu spin the turbines to generate electricity. Ini basically dia daripada ni tau, the steam yang keluar. Okay, steam yang keluar daripada heat tu. So yang steam tu lah dia akan rotate the turbine. Okay, kalau you nak tahu detail you google je lah kan. Saya tak payah kot cerita dalam ni kan. So nak tahu google saja. Disadvantage, this energy is diffuse and in certain location tadilah. Mungkin di kawasan-kawasan pergunungan ke. Okay. So next is the biomass. So the biomass for me is very close to the brothers from the electrical department chemical department. Okay, the most widely used from renewable energy, usually they're using the plantation waste, palm oil contohnya kan, yang dia punya tandan-tandan yang tak guna, daun-daun semua tu kan, even from the plantation from the pineapple also. So they use the leaf and the waste from there and they process to the biomass. Okay. So source of heating for electric power generation. Ni konsep sama Source of heating ni dia macam burn. Dia bakar benda tu. Dia bukan bakar lah, dia proses itu menyebabkan dari keluar steamnya tu dan ini akan memusingkan turbine. Dan turbine situlah dia generate electricity. So it's very basic. They still using the wind turbine. Okay, and then biomaterial including wood from various agricultural residues. Residues ni waste and animal and human waste. Human waste tu lah macam tak best sikit lah sebab dia human waste kan. Kurang sikit lah. Okay. So hydrogen fuel cell ini pun saya tak berapa detail sebab dia main dengan I think they play with the electrolysis, something like that lah. Okay. Quiet and highly efficient power generation with no moving parts, generate electricity though an electrochemical process. Dia main dengan electrochemical ni, dia main electrolysis lah, tak lain tak bukan. So chemical energy comes from hydrogen and hydrogen fuels. Okay, methanol, ethanol. Ni kalau ada perasan dah, ada kereta control lah. Kereta control ni pakai hydrogen fuel cell. Ada yang study about that. Dia punya gasoline dia tu, menggunakan metanol dan etanol lah. So dia pure hydrogennya. Sebab etanol kan dia ada CH apa-apa bla 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 semua tu kan. CH apa benda tah? CH3, CH2. that things that the hydrogen is released, the hydrogen plus is released, then it move the car or move the things lah. Boleh lah study detail sikit. Kita bagi idea je, okay? Okay, advantage. Dia pula kata macam ni ya. Okay lagi ke? Okay lagi ke?
Okay, sir.
Still intact
Okay.
Ya, all still intact Takut dah bercerai dah
Yeah.
badan Okay. Advantage of alternative energy, renewable sources, less maintenance. Actually, it's quite subjective for less maintenance. I think if we refer directly to the solar, of course less maintenance lah. But compared to the Petronas cari gali contohnya kan, cari gali petroleum tu lagi maintenance lagi dahsyat lah. Drill dia tu nak kena maintain kan. So tak boleh silap, boleh patah mata grill. Lepas tu tarik dalam kan dia korek, so quite costly lah sebenarnya kan. This maintenance tu. Even and dia bayar the staff, ini I'm not criticize the staff that cari gali kan, tapi tahu kan dia orang bayar mahal kan. So per jam dia orang tu tak sama lah yang per jam kerja McD kan. Atau per jam kerja pensyarah, itulah. Sebab dia kan dia cost quite costly. Okay. And then low operation cost, free energy. That free energy ni means that because we generate from the natural resources, so that's why you don't have to pay for the gasoline, the RON 95, RON 97 to generate electricity kan. So just for example, if we have the solar panel, solar module, you just buy it with RM100 now. The price I think less than RM200, 150 maybe. You can get the 100 watt monocrystalline type of the solar module already. Sekarang sangat murah. 100 setengah dah dapat 100 watt lah. Dulu tahun I think 2016 if I'm not mistaken, 2017 I bought the 100 watt solar module with RM400. Mahal gila. Sekarang ni dah 100 setengah je. And then no waste product and pollution. Okay, no waste product and pollution. Of course lah, they don't have the carbon dioxide. Okay, we are not going to smell the smoky smoke kan. Okay, and then economy benefits and tourism lah. Solar farm sekarang contohnya orang dah buat tourism kan. Even wind energy pun yang cantik-cantik kan, tempat-tempat luar kadang dia buat boleh bayar lagi kan untuk tengok dalam tu. Padahal tak ada apa pun. Okay, economic benefits tu dia ada FIT dan juga yang NAM lah. Okay. We need to talk also about the disadvantage of renewable energy. And of course, require more energy facilities or land use. For example, even though you have a lot of money, we need to buy a large land, maybe acres, several acres or 2-3 hektar dan sebagainya kalau you nak buat the mega solar farm kan, 50 megawatt for example. So at the time, kita perlukan penggunaan land sebenarnya. Itu satu. Yang kedua sebenarnya kita kena tebang pokok, sebenarnya ratakan tanah kan. Sebenarnya dia tak adalah bagus sangat kan renewable energy ni kan. Tapi itulah, disadvantage dia itulah. Dia more energy facilities and land use. Okay, energy facilities tu kalau ada guna inverter, bateri dan sebagainya, so itu sebenarnya tambah cost lagi. Lepas tu, and then next is the may not be available when we need it. So daily and seasonal variation, for example in pekan kan, we just finished the December one, we experience quite low temperature actually. Until you need to have the water heater, kena ada water heater kan, sampai tahap macam tu lah. Saya rumah saya memang tak ada water heater. Tapi sebab dah menggigil ni pasal, panggil lah wireman pasang punya cerita daily and seasonal variation tu. If we generate directly from the natural resources like sunlight kan, bila ada awan dan hujan dia memang totally itulah dia punya risikonya when you use that kind of natural resources based electricity macam solar, wind dan sebagainya. Okay, and then next thing is to smooth out supply. Okay, we need the energy storage system. Okay, because of the sunlight, we have the sunlight of course, but we have the clouds also. Cloudy happens because the cloud is blocking the sunlight. Uh, because it blocks the sunlight from penetrating to the ground, from reaching the ground. So that cloud dia block solar radiant tu daripada reach dekat ground kan. But after 5 minutes maybe all the clouds is flown by the wind. So there will be the clear sky kan. So dia ada, bila kita main solar tadi tu dia ada on dan off. So sekejap dia full current generate 5 amps, tiba-tiba bila ada awan dia zam, dia terus drop 1 amps, dia nak open balik, so dia kejap gitu kan. So that's why it's quite if we don't have the energy storage system, dalam kata lain kalau awak tak ada bateri, lithium ion is advantage one but quite costly. If you don't have the lead acid battery yang bukan untuk bateri kereta, bateri level yang deep cycle yang kali hitam biasanya, bukan lori yang besar dia selalu guna benda tu. Tapi memang untuk solar tu pakai bateri tu, lead acid battery tu untuk smooth out the output lah. Sebab energy directly from the sunlight tu dia akan charge bateri tu. Tapi yang you guna load tu sebenarnya you withdrawn the energy directly from the battery. Kalau tidak dia tak stable. Even kalau you pakai kipas pun kan, contoh pakai kipas direct connect to the solar module kan. So dia kalau panas betul, okey lah, pusing lah kipas tu. Tiba-tiba hujan, memang tak pusing lah. Sebab dia tak ada energy direct kan. Sebab dia direct, kita tak ada direct. Sebab tu orang guna, basically kalau standalone ni, memang tak boleh bukan pakai energy storage ni. And then energy storage that batteries is not that cheap. I think but now 100 Ah of the deep cycle lead acid battery I just bought several years before. It cost me around 800, 900 kan. Mungkin sekarang lagi murah kot harga dia. Macam itulah. Then of course not equally available in all locations. Kita ada tempat kering, kita ada tempat panas kan. Kita ada tempat yang selalu hujan. So dia berbeza lah. Ini memang conventional punya problem lah for the renewable energy. And another one is high installation cost. Contoh nak pasang wind turbine tu, sebelum you nak start generate ataupun you pasang solar farm tu, sebelum you nak start menikmati keuntungan daripada penjualan electricity to the TMB, you need to keluarkan modal yang tinggi untuk kan solar module, inverter, staff nak pasang, contractors, macam-macam lah. Dia high installation saja dia dah mengata hala kan. Main juta lah kan, tak main ribu-ribu ni. Okay. Itu je sebenarnya hari ni. Tak banyak pun. Lepas tu saya nak proceed juga. Any question? Dia boleh baca pun sebenarnya ni. Sorry guys. Memang annoying gila belakang tu. Saya minta maaf banyak.
Tak apa rasa, tak apa. Okey.
Boleh, okey.
Okey.
Okey semua. Semua okey. Any question tak? Ada soalan? Ada apa soalan? Tak ada tak?
Tak ada sir.
Kita baru main dekat tepi-tepi kan, tepi-tepi air je ni. Ni terlampau basic sangat kan. Nanti kita dah start chapter 2, kita start nak sedikit memeningkan sikit je lah. Baru intro nanti. Chapter 2 tu baru start nak berfikir sikit. Yang ni betul-betul ni baca sambil lalu je. Saya rasa okey kot